Hi lovely friends, Melissa here with another Child Free Friday. It's a series where I don't scrap photos of my children. So today I'm scrapping with a really old paper bakery kit, and I had been doing a big clean out and I found it. And I have used some bits of it. I've taken them out to use in another layout, but I just had the rest just sitting in this plastic bag, and I thought, let's try and see what I can make with it. These are the papers that I've got left, and there's some Authentique, and I'm not even sure what else really, off the top of my head. But they're lovely, and it was a spring-themed kit, and it had lots of sort of rain clouds and typical spring icons. And the reason I didn't use it is because when I got the kit, it wasn't spring here, it was probably autumn. So now I'm showing you what is left of the embellishments. And there's exclusive Paper Bakery flair. Paper Bakery doesn't exist anymore, but it was a great kit club, and I belonged, I think, for about maybe 8 months. I can't remember. So I've got some extra bits there. I've got some Studio Calico cameras and stars, and I've got a Happy Scatter die-cut card that I got when I was guest designing in May. And I was just showing you there the stamps that I'm going to be using as well, because I'm making a real effort at the moment to use up or use things that I've got. And stamps are something that I need to use more. I have quite a lot of them, and often I forget because they're put away in a drawer. So here I'm just trimming off the branding strip, and I was having a good look at it because it had a little quote on there, so I was trying to decide whether I'd keep it, and I decided no, I'll put it in the recycling bin. So I'm going with this Authentique ledger grid pattern as my background, and like I said, I'm not sure if I said, but this is my father-in-law and his dad, and his dad is really, he was really like a granddad to me. I never knew my granddads. They both had passed on before I was born, and of the two granddads that my husband has, both are now passed on, but Colin is definitely the one that I got to know the most. And so in retrospect, looking back, it's a really special photo to have the two dads together in this photo. So I wanted to use that piece that's underneath my trimmer, and I wanted to have that as a large piece because I really like that pattern. And something I'm trying to make an effort to do is when I like a pattern, why cover it up? So I want to feature it. And then I wanted to have some banners, and I've just selected 3 papers from the kit, and I'm just showing you there how I cut my banners. I just line up the piece on my mat, find the centre, make a mark with my fingernail, and then just cut in and cut 2 triangles from either side. And I've sped this bit up. I think I've sped this up. Yes, because it's a little bit tedious because it's me trying to get them in the right position. And I'm just showing you there the cut aparts, and I'd cut them apart to save time. And I'm just laying them out, and I decided I wanted to have them going down the right side, and at that point I thought I'd have that Treasure Everyday Moments in the position where you see it, because it covers, I think it's a microphone or something in the background. So for those of you that haven't watched my Child Free Friday videos, this photo is for my informal wedding reception album, and these photos were all taken by guests with disposable cameras that we had on the tables, and it was exciting to get them back, get the cameras developed and see what we got. So this photo, because it's quite dark and they're wearing suits and there's not much colour, is perfect for a page to add a lot of colour. So here I'm decided that I want to commit to putting those cut aparts there, so what you've missed is me just gluing them all down. And I only put the glue or the tape on the left hand side of them so that I can lift off my entire mat, or I guess it's just a pile of paper. And here I'm showing you how I trimmed down the tops of the banners, and I didn't want them all the same, I wanted them staggered as well. And now I'm just working out the position that I want them, because I want to stick my photo and paper on top of them. And so that's me there. I'm just trimming off the top because I wasn't happy that one was a little bit crooked. I had hand cut it, but because it is a ledger background, it needs to be straight. Now I'm just marking out the edges, and a little bit from the edges, because I want to do some watercolours with packaging technique. So this just tells me where I'll come back and put my photo, and it lets me know as a guide where to put my watercolours. And that is my washi collection, and I store it in it's a water chiller, and a friend of ours sells water, and they gave it to us. It's really awesome, and you could put ice in it and put your water in it, or your wine. I guess we don't drink, so we'd use it for water, and I just use it for storing washi. I love it, how it looks. It's I'm going to say embellishment. I guess it is an embellishment or a feature in my craft room. So I've got that teal and clear striped washi, and just putting that down because I need something to anchor that little banner because it's quite dark, it's grey, and I like having that there. And now I'm wanting to back those cut out triangles with the same tape, so I'm just sticking it onto a piece. It's actually the other side of that die cut card, and it takes a couple of pieces, and I just line up the stripes. And then it's just a matter of gluing it or sticking it behind the card. So originally I had wanted it to look like that with the triangles pointing down, but for some strange reason I wasn't really thinking, and I stuck it down with the triangles going up. So I'm just showing you there how I do it with my double-sided tape. And of course I'm watching scrapbooking videos while I'm doing this. So now I'm doing the packaging technique, and I'm showing you there that I just use one of the bags that my hip kits come in. I just cut them into 4, and I just use them until they are probably dirty and can't take any more colour. So just trying to move that around there, and I find if I apply a bit of pressure with my hand and my fingers, it helps get it moving, and then I'll blot it with my paper towel. And I'm in a hurry with this one, so I definitely want to blot it. I think it leaves quite a nice effect if you leave it to dry naturally, or if you have a heat gun. I don't have a heat gun, so my only real option is to blot it and let it just dry in the sun by the window. So I was going to add that blue, but it was a bit dark and didn't really look right, so instead I've decided to go with pink and red mixed together, and that will bring out some of the pinky red tones in the ampersand paper that you can see on the top right there, and also the ledger pattern is a pinky red colour as well. I've sped this up because it's, I mean, you've seen it before, you've seen it with lots of other people, and you've seen it with me, and the last colour I add is some grey, which I'm really happy with. It's a colour that I don't even think I've used before, and there's grey tones in one of those banner pieces as well, so it matches quite well, and I'm happy with that. So while that's drying, I've got a piece of just white 12 by 12 cardstock, and I want to carry on with embellishing around my photo, and so I'm one who wants to make the most of the time that I have. I don't really have time to sit around waiting for that other piece to dry. So I've decided to stitch down the centre of those banners, and that's what I'm doing there. And then I will add some stitching onto that die cut with the triangles. I've left my threads long, and I love the look of that. And the reason I'm stitching down that little die cut is because with the washi on the back, I'm not really sure how secure that little piece of card will be. So now I'm coming in with some texture paste, and I've sped this up because I muck around a lot when I'm using texture paste and modelling paste. I think I overthink it too much, and I don't like the thought of having a triangle half done on the edge. So this is a Happy Scatter stencil as well. It's my favourite one from what Jennifer Grace sent me, and I love, love, love it. And while I've got extra texture paste on my palette knife, I just grabbed that same piece of white cardstock that I had before, and I'm just using it up I have no idea what I'll make with this, but I'll definitely use it for something, so keep an eye out for this cardstock to make a feature in the layout soon. Now don't do what I did. I went into the laundry, not this time, but previously, went into the laundry sink, rinsed off the texture paste or modelling paste and didn't wash it away, and it dries permanently on there. I suppose I could get rid of it with nets, but it's only the laundry sink. But just telling you that because sometimes I do get tempted to rinse them in the kitchen sink, and that's certainly not a look that I want in there. Now I'm using some of these Studio Calico cameras, and I would have got them in a Studio Calico kit maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and I hardly have used any of them, so it's good to get them used up on this layout. And you can take the little circle that's the shutter in the middle out, and then I'm just backing it with some of the pattern paper. And I do it with 3 of them. I don't show the entire process because it's pretty tedious, but you'll see it further on, the finished look. And I'm just deciding where to put that flare badge. So you'll see there I've got 2 of the cameras, and with one of them has 2 little pieces that you can pull out, and so I've backed it with the paper, and then I've put the smallest little cork circle back inside. So there I've placed the flare badge. It's not where it will remain, but at the moment I've got it up there. And these are some Studio Calico acetate stars that I was in a design team, I think it was a couple of years ago, and it doesn't run anymore, but the owner of the challenge blog, she sent us all a present for Christmas, which was such a lovely thing to do, and she sent me these stars, so perfect for a boy layout, and no doubt I'll use them on some more pages of Sam. So I've pulled out the red ones, and I think they work really well. They help bring out that red in the ampersand paper, and also the really pink colour I've added in the background. And I'm just stapling them down. I did look at adding some blue ones, but the colour of them are quite dark and they didn't really work with the kit. So I've moved my flare down, and I think it looks a lot better there, and I need something else just in the top corner, so I've added that washi again. And now I'm doing my journaling. I struggle a bit because I have sewn down the middle, and I'm just aware that I don't want to write on top of the thread, and then I'm using my fingers to work out how many months, what month number September is. So there's my background, and that texture paste is probably 80% dry, and I'm happy to push on because, like I said, I don't have time to wait. So I'm then bending up those little cut aparts, and then I'm going to add some dimension. I want them to lift and have a bit of shadowing, so I'm adding some Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. And the biggest one with the, this is Happy Note, I actually stacked up 2 on there. So now I just want to talk about these stamps for a sec, because I got them from the warehouse, New Zealand girls, and they were probably under $7, and I am so impressed with them. I didn't have to prep them or do anything with them. They stamp perfectly first go, and I tested them with some StazOn, and then I decided I'd try these Prima chalk inks because the colours are a bit paler, and I didn't really want black. So that ampersand is a really old Studio Calico one. It's if you watched one of my previous videos, or possibly even the video to come, previous video, I used the plus sign, and it's on the same one as that, and it came with a kit. So I've stamped it with the blue, and then I decided I wanted to come in with the grey and put that over the top just to give it a bit more. So I've stamped it off once, and then I'm stamping it. So it just provides a little bit of darker detail. And my final step is to come in with this little tiny Mr. Huey's that came in the Studio Calico kit years ago as well. I'm really happy with how this one turned out. I'm definitely getting through my album, and I think if I wasn't doing the series, I probably wouldn't be scrapping these really, really old photos. So I'm about to show you a final close-up. Thanks so much for watching, and welcome to my new subscribers. I'm really grateful that you're here, and I'll be back again soon. Have an awesome, blessed weekend.